Alright. So you told me about this Wolfman trailer.
I know nothing about it other than it says Wolfman.
Yes, I'm assuming it's Universal Pictures, so I'm assuming it's gonna be, the Wolfman. Coming back again to get that sweet, sweet Dracula money.
So are we digging up Lon Chaney's corpse, or what are we doing
I
here?
mean, we've already done that like 8 different times. I don't think most people even people who are interested in werewolves, know who Lon Chaney is at this point because it's just so far removed from the culture outside of people who are fans of Universal Pictures. Really, I'm surprised we don't. I mean, was there another Frankenstein recently? I think Frankenstein is the more guaranteed moneymaker. I'm gonna start
Well,
starting off
yeah.
strong with ants. Mantises. Oh,
Uh,
now, Blumhouse has done okay. Apparently, their Invisible Man was good.
It sounded like an animal. But I swear to God, it was standing on 2 feet.
Who broke into our meat cellar?
Are we gonna die?
No, it's my job to protect you.
oh, man.
What's wrong with Daddy?
He got sick.
Blake, Daddy's scaring me! Blake, stop!
Oh, is this yet somebody else in Hollywood reliving their lack of a father
Well,
trauma on
here's the thing
screen?
about it. They're fixing something that has like
Daddy,
okay,
cut you.
it is Wolfman. It's not even a wolf guy the whole time. But the thing is, okay, they're fixing something with this. That is the issue with why werewolf stories suck, but vampire stories are good. Is that werewolves are inherently boring because it's just a regular dude, and then one day a month, it's a wolf. And that's just not as interesting as, like, the aching, brooding, everything going on with a vampire. But the only way you can make a wolfman interesting is if it's about the people around him dealing with this guy who's turned into a wolf. So, Wolf Daddy makes sense as a story. This could be good.
This, when you phrase it like that, it sounds it sounds like somebody's creating a fetish.
Well, the thing about werewolves in the modern age is that we cannot do Lon Chaney anymore. We cannot
Instead,
do
we
like
have-
a basic just an old hairy dude. They have to be hot now.
They have to be werewolf Sonic.
Well, no, that's different.
Eh.
They have to at least be attractive to some degree. I think you can't just have like a completely ugly monster. Even the Nosferatu or whatever, we're starring attractive people as these Draculas now. I think it makes sense to make the Wolfman at least a kind of attractive dude or a regular looking dude with the relationships and all that. But I mean, that was a minute, so it's kind of hard to tell.
Well, it says official teaser, but
Teaser.
Daddy, are you okay?
Yeah.
What I don't know. I'm just almost getting the feeling this is going to be yet again somebody working out their childhood trauma through the screen.
Well, that's the thing about horror movies.
Well,
It is a blanket definition of a lot of them, including good ones.
Oh, that it's not even just horror movies. It's like movies in general. It also, like a lot of movies, just seem to be some way of saying "fuck you, Dad."
That's true. But you can end up with The Shining from that. I know mostly you end up with crap, but you can end up with good movies too. The thing about this, like, I'm saying the plot, which is like, oh no, my dad's a werewolf. What do I do? And like this father struggling to like keep his humanity while he's gonna start hunting the kids. But like, I'm talking about it like it's gonna be a good movie, but based on the shots and everything, it's like, is it gonna be a good movie? Or looking at that, I'm like, red box. These are not great shots. These are not like really.
You know what I will say? If this is something which is made economically, and this is a sign of Hollywood, Universal, whatever the hell, is going back to making economically viable movies again, to where, okay, this is cheap. If it doesn't make $1 billion at the box office, it's okay because it didn't cost us hundreds of millions of dollars to make.
We just filmed in a cabin in the woods, so it's fine.
Yeah. There's something to that, which I would appreciate, because when you have movies which don't have these astronomical budgets anymore, you can start actually experimenting again, and it's not the end of the world if the movie isn't the most popular thing in existence. So I guess that's a positive.
It's a good sign.
And part of me is just feeling like, oh no, this movie cost like $100 million to make.
That's what I hope, is they're like, oh no, is this some kind of laundering thing? But Blumhouse's whole claim to fame is that, like, we make our movies super duper cheap. And,
Not good, but...
not necessarily good, but we have been able to make them super cheaply.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think if there's a Blumhouse movie I've seen that I actually liked.
We don't watch a lot of modern horror, so...
Yeah,
Probably not.
because it's usually not good.
Yeah. I forgot, we can cut in the best of the worst, where they were, like, talking about the absolute failure of The Mummy and the Dark Universe, remember? Universal Pictures wanted to do their own Marvel. And then after that, like, Jay was like, give it to Blumhouse, and they'll make shitty little cheap ones, and have that happen for a while, and then eventually you'll be able to like, capitalize off the success of these smaller movies.
Funny thing is, they already had they've already had a big budget Mummy that worked.
Yeah, they did.
It was The Mummy, starring
Yeah.
Brendan Fraser. So they can do. In fact, they had that in The Mummy too, and that was
And then The
successful.
Rock.
And that was successful enough to like have a spin-off with the Scorpion King. With the worst. No wait, it was Mummy 2, where The Rock is the worst CG creation in
All
existence.
time, yes, the
Right.
Scorpion King, the literal Scorpion King.
Kind
of flew too close to the sun on that
of
one.
like the alligator or the crocodiles or whatever in Eraser, but I don't think you've seen that.
I haven't, but I can imagine.
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
imagine what that must have looked like.
So, cue clip.
Yeah. Maybe we have to watch Eraser. But it's weird, actually, in, like, the nostalgia bait era, that Universal never thought that they should get Brendan Fraser and The Rock together and do another Mummy. They could print money off of that, and they're like, nah, let's get Tom Cruise to do something.
Well, Brendan Fraser wasn't exactly in the best
That's
point
true.
of his life at that
But they can do it now.
Yeah.
They're still around. Print money, why not? Brendan Fraser as, like, even still investigating Egyptian things and all that, and get everybody back together.
You know what? I want to see, if we're going to have Brendan Fraser dragged back out to remake something, I want to see him remake with honors. And instead of having Joe Pesci as the bum, you can have Brendan Fraser as the bum, because now he looks like he fits in the role.
Well, okay, I've never seen that movie. I thought you were going to say Dudley Do Right.
I mean, you could do that as well.
I don't think you should. But that does remind me. We're talking about this. Say the Wolfman is successful. The Invisible Man's already been successful. And there's also a Dracula planned, I think. Which implies...
There's going to be a new Monster Squad.
I was going to say there's going to be a new Abbott and Costello.
Oh.
Meet the Monsters, or the Monster Squad. But who in this era who is our Abbott and Costello?
Oh, God.
Who is going to be meeting these guys?
Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart. Like that's what I would pick, because Dwayne Johnson can be the straight man,
Yeah.
and Kevin Hart would be the
Just
comedy,
yeah.
And they kind of already have that rapport or whatever
I
with them anyway.
suppose so. I could see them as, like, supernatural investigators.
But the trick in this would to have Dwayne Johnson play against type and actually allow himself to be scared and run away,
Yeah.
or realize, oh, I can't punch this thing
Oh
into
no, it's
oblivion.
real. This isn't just a bit that we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That could be a lot of fun.
And that could help revitalize The Rock's career a little bit versus
I mean, he's already doing great. He's going to be in Monster Jam, the monster truck movie. Always a good sign for your career when you're in a monster truck movie. Do you think they'll make a Scorpion King thing and they'll stick half of him on top of a monster truck?
Only thing, you know, like in back in, this wasn't in in WCW, they used to have a couple of monster trucks that were themed after the wrestlers. So there was like a Hulk Hogan or like a giant one or whatever, and they had arms on the side of the truck. So if you had like the little claw pincers like coming out,
That's great.
and maybe a little tail coming up over the area, now I'm going to stab you. You know, maybe you could make that work.
I have an idea for the upcoming Monster Squad movie. It's going to be great. Call us Universal.